because reality wasn't messy enough. This is the Joevelocity Show.
And welcome to the Joevelocity Show. I'm here again with Hubba.
Hey.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. So, between the last time that we recorded shows and now, you have a new microphone that you're in front of.
I do.
Yeah. So you should sound a little bit better. It's actually the same microphone that I have now.
It's big, it's black, and it's bold.
Just like you.
Well, thank you.
Of course, it seems like every time that we record a show, it's really hot outside.
Oh, my gosh. It's like I'm a damn curse.
You are.
Every time.
No.
I'm so sorry.
Well, yeah, you even have your sunglasses here.
Yes. That's from 31. What is it? 31 Studios?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's when I've been doing that training with 489 local union.
Okay.
For me with media makers. So
okay.
It's been a really great experience.
They're down in Lawrenceville, right?
Yeah. Well, this one is in a strip district.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's kind of by it.
Yeah. Yeah, right. It's really in between.
Adjacent.
But it was really nice.
That's cool. That's awesome.
It's a really great experience.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've gotten out of my video mode and I'm doing audio nowadays.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't have a face made for a television anymore. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking to do carpentry work for them.
Okay.
So that's what's going on, and everyone was wonderful there. Everyone was wonderful there.
So you haven't hit your thumb with a hammer yet, huh?
No. I'm pretty good with a hammer.
Well, you probably have an air hammer now, right?
Well,
so, like hydraulic.
No, we still have to use a regular hammer.
Oh, yeah.
We have to use a regular hammer.
Yeah, and I would imagine, I mean, I guess filmmaking in Western Pennsylvania here has gotten pretty big, so.
Yeah.
The fact that we have movie studios and we're actually, like, their TV shows are actually being filmed here now at this point.
Right. It's amazing. It's pretty cool, you know. I learned a lot. I learned a lot, and in such a short period of time, you know. And like I said, everybody was wonderful. Treated me very nice.
That's cool.
They were always willing to explain things when I didn't have an understanding of it.
Yeah.
And that's what I really appreciated about them, because they were willing to have me have a better understanding of what's going on.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they didn't judge. They don't judge nobody. You know what I mean? And I loved it.
That doesn't sound like most workplaces though. So.
Well, I mean, you know, based off of somebody's work or something, that's typically normal.
Yeah.
Like to judge someone off of their work. But other than that, like far as their personal life and what they got going on, they have no judgments there. And that's what made me feel so comfortable.
I had this, when I started my current job that I had this one guy, I won't say what his name is, but it was kind of like, he was kind of like the kiss up, you know, it was kind of like the teacher's pet per se. He was there the longest. He had the most knowledge and everything there. And I screwed up a call that I took there, and he's like, "You're getting in trouble for this, here." And I'm like, you know, so I got a talking to. I was also very new at the time, so just kind of like, okay, whatever, you know. Well, I guess he also had the habit of going ahead there and also going to management and like basically be like, "I'm going to quit unless you give me a raise," and they were basically appeasing him by doing that. Except one time, whenever he went in and did that there, they were like, "Okay, we'll go ahead and process the paperwork you know, since you're leaving, you know." Yeah. And he came up to me. This is after I'd been there a few years at this point.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to be leaving the company here in about 30 days. I'm like, "Why?" You know, and it was just kind of like, "Well, I don't really want to, but, you know," I was kind of like, you know, I kind of overplayed my hand, basically. Well, so he kind of admitted to it there and everything there. But so a few years later, I was talking to one of my managers and I was like, "Oh, yeah, do you remember when so-and-so did this?" He's like, "I have some bad news for you." He's like, "He passed away."
Oh, my God.
Yeah, a few years after he left the company, he ended up passing away. So it was just kind of like,
wow. Oh my gosh. God
so
rest his soul.
yeah.
Oh wow.
But nonetheless, it was just kind of weird, you know. But it's nice that you've been welcomed with open arms at your current place.
Right.
So
right.
And yeah, because sometimes with some places you don't find that, especially where I work at. But now at this point, I've been there for 10 years. I'm the head honcho.
Right.
I've been there the longest now.
Go ahead with your bad self.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I asked myself why I'm not a manager. But you know, it's kind of like knowing what the managers have to go through there. I'm kind of glad I'm not.
Yeah.
So, but even my previous supervisor, which was above the manager at the time, you know, whenever he had to appoint the current manager, he actually apologized to me there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it was pretty much there. It was kind of like because of the shift that I work and everything, because I work like overnight shifts.
Right.
That in this case, then it was kind of like you're too valuable. So it was kind of like I kind of screwed myself in a sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the problem is you do your job too well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes you gotta back off a little bit, you know, because you don't want to overdo yourself, and then they start to look at you like, is he trying to take our jobs? Is he trying to, you know what I mean? Jealousy starts to play a role, you know, and like just be yourself,
right?
You know what I mean? Just be yourself. Me being myself for most of the time helped me out a long way. You know, like I wouldn't have got as far as I am now if I wasn't always myself, and that's what continues to make me. That's what continues me to keep on going down the same path of just being myself, being my happy, giggly, bubbly self. It's just me, you know?
Yeah, at this point now that 10 years has passed, I don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah, like you get to that point in your life. You just, you be like, you know what, whatever. Take me as who I am. And if you have a problem with that, that's your problem, not mine. I'm going to continue walking down the street, minding my business, just like God put me on this earth to do.
Right? Exactly.
You know?
But also, too, I kind of realized it's kind of advantageous there because it allows me to do like things like what we're doing right now.
Right.
I actually have time to do that kind of stuff and work on that stuff there and have my own company now and everything. And, you know, so it allows me a lot of free time, which is kind of good because it just basically allows me to do the stuff I actually want to do, you know, as opposed to the stuff I have to do, my day job, you know. But anyways, yeah, we could sit here and talk forever about this.
I know, we sure can. You know I can talk, Joe. You know my talkative ass.
And it was even kind of funny because in the beginning of this here, before we started recording, it was kind of like, well, what are we going to talk about?
Right.
The weather.
Right. Right.
But anyways, yeah, we've already filled up 8 minutes worth of talking. Anyways.
Oh, my God.
Let's go ahead here and let's get this started here. So.
Right.
So the first story today is my friend with benefits no longer wants to have sex with me, but wants to remain friends. Am I the asshole for cutting off the friendship? So the story goes, I, 22 male, was in a friend with benefit relationship with Erin, who's 22 female, for a couple of years. We've known each other since middle school, and we were really close childhood friends. We started casually hooking up a couple of years ago, and it was going great. The sex was amazing, but we also communicated with each other that this was just casual sex, and that we were free to have sex with anyone we wanted. It was strictly a friends with benefits relationship. However, last week, Erin told me that she wanted to stop having sex with me, but she still wanted to remain friends with me, if possible, because she really valued our friendship. I asked her if she started seeing someone, and she said no, that she was still having casual sex with other people, but she wanted to stop having sex with me, because she was worried it might blossom into a relationship, and she did not want that. I told her it was fine, and this wouldn't affect our friendship. But I was definitely feeling hurt, because she said she would still have casual sex with other people, but not with me. It was kind of a gut punch. The next day, I texted her that I no longer wanted to remain friends with her. I then blocked her on everything. Personally, I'm not really getting anything out of this friendship, so I don't see the point of remaining friends with her. It's better than just to rip the Band-Aid off. Am I the asshole?
I'm kind of down the middle with that situation because I get it in ways, but then in another I don't. It's like I get the simple fact that you're sitting up there like, damn, you don't want to have sex with me? Like, you got a problem with me? Like, what about, am I not good enough in the bedroom? Like, am I not putting it down? You know, like, but at the same time, I don't think she really meant it like that. I don't know. Maybe she just, like she said, she didn't want it to blossom into a relationship.
I think she may be on to something there. And actually, one of the comments said she wanted to stop having sex with me because she was worried it might blossom into a real relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that I think there was kind of like maybe she was starting to catch feelings, in that so that way she didn't actually catch feelings. She decided, I'm not going to do this at all now.
Right.
But the problem is here with that is that it also kind of gives you the question here: how strong was the friendship to begin with?
Right.
If they stop having sex and they no longer want to be friends, or he no longer wants to be friends with her.
Right. That explains a lot to me about him.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what she probably had a sense that he was going to do that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, because for the simple fact that you just don't want to be friends with her no more because of that. And I thought y'all were good friends. And then you sat up there and you said this friendship is taking me nowhere, this, that, and the third.
Right.
I thought being friends with someone was just having, like, being able to have genuine conversations with someone. Being able to, like, relate to someone on some things or whatever. I thought it wasn't about, like, what you can get out of it.
Right.
That was a huge red flag for me.
Sounds like to him this maybe was a little more transactional. It was kind of like, let's go ahead and just, do it,
Right.
And that's all we do,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. That's what it came off to me. And she probably looked at him as a really good friend. You know what I mean? She really did. She probably really did really care for him and started to gain feelings for him.
Yeah.
But
I also think that we don't have enough information to go on here, because
right.
of basically
it's just not enough.
What would happen afterwards?
Right.
Would they basically stop talking?
Right.
Would it be her? Would it be him? But I think basically he kind of I guess in a sense, showed his true colors, because it was kind of like, okay, we're not having sex anymore. We're not going to be friends anymore.
Yeah, right.
So
y'all wasn't friends in the first place.
Yeah. Anyways, a lot of folks took issue with the blocking of her.
Right.
So the comments went, the amount of stories that go, so I blocked them on everything is crazy. Like, what? You had a blast with someone? Now you're all going to pretend they don't exist anymore?
Right.
Another one said, it's sure for emotional immaturity and lack of experience, but there's also a cultural attitude that we have where ghosting, blocking seems to be a totally accepted way to end a relationship with someone. And that is fucked. Especially fucked when you consider that being subjected to the silent treatment, which ghosting, blocking, cutting people off is a pretty extreme form of, activates the same part of the brain as physical pain. People are just out there chaotically traumatizing each other because it's more convenient for them than having to deal with an uncomfortable conversation. Sociopathic. Unless abuse is involved, cutting people off is almost always a shitty thing to do. If you can't exit a relationship while still showing the other person respect and consideration, then you're not ready to enter one.
I wouldn't say it's sociopathic. I would say it's more like maybe a little narcissistic. You know what I mean? Because if you're not getting your way, it's your way or no way.
Yeah,
That's
it's also
what it came off to me.
It's also too there. I mean, you can't really apply that same reasoning to every relationship. Sometimes,
exactly.
You have things there where, like, for example, if I get treated bad by somebody, I'm more likely to be like, you know what, I don't have to deal with this.
Yeah.
So thus, I'm not going to deal with it anymore. And thus, I'm going to drop them like a lead balloon.
Right.
But on the other hand, there too is that if it was a situation like this here, I don't think I would necessarily be so quick to be like, you know what, cut this off. I'm done. It was kind of like, I think they need to talk more,
Right.
And that's really what kind of boils down to is I think they really need to sit down and have a deep discussion about this here.
But I do feel like, I don't think at this point after what he did, maybe she don't want to talk no more at that point.
Well,
because
maybe if he cuts her off, yeah.
Yeah, because at this point, like, she's probably looking at it like, I really thought he was a good friend. I thought we can really talk about things and figure things out and be cool, But he the one that took it that far. So to me, it sounded like he really did have feelings.
Right.
I feel like he was the one that had more feelings than...
And that she didn't,
I don't think she didn't have feelings. I think she was getting ready to have feelings.
Or she was afraid of what those would lead to there, that she didn't want to ruin the relationship, the friendship.
Right.
That she thought was there, but in fact actually wasn't there.
Right.
Got Gotta love relationships, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Some days, like me, I think it's just easier being single, you know? But
Mm-hmm.
anyways, let's go on. We'll move on to the second story here. Am I the asshole for considering ending a 5-year-long relationship over how my girlfriend treated me on my birthday? My birthday was last week. My girlfriend, both 29, offered to make me breakfast and asked me when I'd like it. I said 10:30 a.m. We had an argument the night before, but we apologized and made peace. I was sick and slept on the couch so that she could rest undisturbed. The next morning, I woke up and started making breakfast so it'd be ready at 10:30. She rushed in and told me that she'd make it later, then left to go back to sleep because she hadn't slept well after our fight. I was confused and hurt, but finished making breakfast alone. I even cried a bit before pulling myself together. She sat down while I was eating and immediately brought up the previous night again, despite already receiving a sincere apology. I apologized again, but she kept accusing me of not listening or owning up. This happens often. My feelings get dismissed, my apologies go unheard, and any attempt to share how I feel is turned back on me. Later, she casually said, next time I won't suggest breakfast that early, when she had asked me what time I wanted it. It stung. It was my birthday, a day that really matters to me. Instead of feeling celebrated, I felt ignored and blamed. She hadn't even said happy birthday yet. I gently told her that it hurt me that she didn't follow through on what we agreed. She got defensive, saying that I wasn't being empathetic. When I reminded her how important birthdays are to me, she started crying and asked if she was a horrible girlfriend. I said no and ended up comforting her, even though I was the one hurt. I've been left with a pit in my stomach, often let things slide and try to see the bigger picture when she's having a hard time, but I don't feel that grace is returned. Am I the asshole or wrong for reconsidering the relationship?
No, he's not wrong for reconsidering that because
No.
Do you know what? I started reading this comment down the bottom a little bit, and
The
read
first
that
one?
first. Read that comment first, and then I'll say something.
Okay. The first comment goes, well, you're not breaking up with her because of how she treated you on your birthday. You're breaking up with her because she's been doing this over and over, and now she's done it on your birthday while you're sick. Sounds completely reasonable to me.
Absolutely. That was the perfect comment because she did not consider that man's birthday at all. Not even just that man's birthday. She do this time and time again, you know, and she continues to do it where she makes it all about herself. And
it also sounds like there too, it was kind of like, okay, the fight was over. We apologized. We moved on. And she literally just brought it right back into the forefront again.
She doesn't know how to let anything go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And to me, that she's too stuck on the past. She's too stuck on bull crap, you know, to me. So it's just like, I don't blame that man for not wanting to do it anymore. He's just over it. He's over it all. He's over her actions. He's over the way she treats him. He's over just being let down all the time from her.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
The second comment goes on that says, girlfriend is a great manipulator.
Yes. Absolutely.
She behaved poorly and OP apologized to her. I'd be willing to bet that the fight the night before was all her doing as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then the commenter, the original poster, reported back it was.
Wow.
He said in a comment that he has a phobia of bugs. She killed a moth with the kitchen towel and put it back in the kitchen on accident. He wiped his hands with it all day. She then told him at night. He flipped out on her. Then he apologized because she said that she forgot. So it sounds like, you know, it's like she knew, you know. I mean, so we add that into there. It's kind of like, yeah. I mean,
it's
he has a phobia of bugs. She kills the moth with the towel. Instead of like putting the towel in the dirty, you know, clothes and stuff there, she puts it back on the, you know, the kitchen by accident there and lets him wipe his hands with it all day, you know. It's like she has no consideration for him, it sounds like.
Yeah, exactly. To me, it kind of sounds like, she purposely did it.
Yeah.
Like, girl, you knew that moth was hit with that towel, and he has a phobia with them.
Right.
And you decided to leave it on the kitchen table anyway, and that man's wiping his hands with him, his clean hands with them. Like, girl, you don't give about nobody.
I can see why he would freak out, and, you know, it sounds like, yeah.
Could it be an honest mistake? Yeah, it could possibly be. But this the way it sounds. I'm going off of how I feel about it, and I feel like she did that purposely.
Yeah.
You don't think about them much at all.
The last comment goes, somebody who does this will always suck the life out of you. Always had to make my own birthday plans, give her money to buy my gifts, and tell her exactly what I wanted, and deal with her sleeping until 4 or 5 of the day. It never got better. It only got worse. Leave now and save yourself some heartache later. I had a relationship like this here, where it's kind of like the other person just did not give two shits about me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a gift one year. It was it was like the Larry bobblehead there from the Three Stooges. Mm-hmm. I freaking hate the Three Stooges, you know?
Yeah.
That's the last thing I wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah, it was kind of like, you know, it was that, or it was kind of like, you know, just there wasn't much thought brought into this here, you know? But anyhow, yeah, wow. I could go on about my failings as a human being, but we won't. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a break. And we'll be back with more stories as the Joevelocity Show continues.
Right.
You could listen to a station that plays the same 6 songs on repeat. Or you could try Joevelocity FM, the home of rock, pop, alternative, and new wave, curated by someone who doesn't hate you. No talk radio, no wacky morning crew, just non-stop music and unapologetic attitude. We're Joevelocity FM, always in motion, like your caffeine withdrawal, but way more fun. Click, stream, regret nothing. JoeVelocityFM.com.
If ensuring speed and security for your sites is really a top priority for you, then search no further than Voxonic's shared website hosting plans. They use SSD-powered servers and provide numerous site acceleration tools that make your websites load noticeably faster. Additionally, they deploy ZFS data storage to shield your website contents from corruption. Also, they will manage the task of migrating all the websites you need to their system, absolutely free of cost. Get started now by going to Voxonix.com. That's VOXONX.com.
So welcome back to the Joevelocity Show. Once again, I'm here with Hubba, and we're going to go on and continue on with the third story.
Right.
In this case here, I found out my husband has a second phone, and now I don't trust anything.
Right. The hell is he doing with a second phone without telling her?
Right. We've been married for 3 years. I generally thought things were good between us. A few weeks ago, I was cleaning out the car, and I found a phone shoved under the passenger seat. It was his. A second phone that I'd never seen before. I took it inside and charged it. It was locked. When I asked him about it, he said it was an old phone. Then he switched it up and claimed to use it for work. I asked why it was hidden in the car, that if it was true, that he just got weirdly defensive. Eventually, he admitted that he keeps it for privacy. He swore there's nothing bad on it, just stuff with friends, fantasy football, and conversations he didn't think I'd care about. I asked to see it. He refused. Said if I trusted him, I wouldn't need to look. Since then, my head's been spinning. If it's nothing, then why hide it? Why all the stories? I'm not even sure if I care what's actually on the phone anymore. What's messing with me is how easily he lied and how secretive he's being. Now I can't stop questioning everything.
Wow.
Well, I mean, obviously he's the asshole. You know?
Yeah, well, absolutely. You have a whole second phone behind your wife's back, and then you say one thing and then you say another. So you basically lie to her in her face like she's stupid. And now you're talking about, now you don't want to show what's in the phone. Talking about you swear there's nothing bad in there. Talking about this fantasy football, all that. You could have did that on your regular phone.
I think also, too, it's like if he would have been like, here you go, unlock the phone and like take a look at it, you know, then there would have been no problem there. Because the fact that he's being really defensive about it, it's kind of like, well, yeah, you're probably...
He's being real defensive.
You're being real weird. The commenters, I think, agreed with us there. They said, tell him he broke your trust when he lied about the second phone, because he did. You clearly don't trust him, and that's justified. And then another commenter wanted to say, absolutely, trust is the foundation of any relationship. And once it's broken, especially through secrecy and deception like this, it's hard to rebuild. The poster has every right to question things now, especially with how defensive he got. there's really nothing to hide, then there's no reason for the secrecy.
Exactly.
Which is basically what I said there. Yeah. And then another person was like, 100% cheating on you.
Yep. He probably has a whole nother family.
Well, yeah, there could be that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure if it would go that far there, but
I'm going that far because you got a whole second phone hitting in your car, and you won't open it up, and you lied.
Well, I don't think you would not have it charged if you had a whole entire second family, though. That's my whole entire thing with that. Is that
man? People are dogs. Okay, people are dogs. I think it could possibly be that, but it could be just a little side chicks he have here and there.
That's what I'm more thinking. I think he's cheating. Yeah,
he's a hoe.
He's a who. Be the name of this episode. He's a who.
Right.
And then, anyways, we're gonna go ahead here and get on to the final story of this here, the moment of conclusion. Husband told me I'm lucky he hasn't cheated.
Wow.
In the spirit of full transparency, my husband and I had been going through a rough patch in our intimacy. I had my baby 18 months ago. The recovery process, both physically and mentally, has been rough. I kept a lot of the baby weight, and I'm always too tired to try anything or make myself look cute. So we've only been intimate like 5 times since the baby arrived. He was honest and said the baby weight and lack of stamina has killed his mood for intimacy, which at first I wasn't too bothered by because I didn't feel comfortable doing anything myself. Now I'm trying to get my old self back, eating better, going on walks, and avoiding snacks as much as I can. I've also tried bringing the spark back into our relationship. I call him handsome, send him cute selfies, and try to be flirty spontaneously. However, last week when I told him he was looking fine, his response completely took me by surprise. His response was that, I know. You don't know how hard I have it. I've had so much temptation in all these years with some random women hitting on me. My brain automatically short-circuited. I don't know if he said I'm lucky that he stayed faithful, or that it's just that I heard in my head from the interpretation of his first comment. Am I being sensitive and taking his comment to offense? Or is what he told me really as messed up as I think it is? Absolutely, I think it's screwed up.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I think the first commenter got it perfect. First, he doesn't get a cookie for not cheating.
Right? You don't get no fucking cookie.
Here's your chocolate chip cookie.
You ain't supposed to in the first place, dog.
Yeah. That's a really low bar to be setting. Secondly, I find that most men who like putting their partner down really overestimate their own attractiveness. And when they said partner moves on, they're just shocked. Reading a story about a partner forced into an open marriage, and most times, the reluctant partner gets way more attention. So don't listen to that BS. I will say that a partner that puts you down rather than lifts you up is no partner at all. He said that to hurt you and control you. From there on out, you need to decide whether you're willing to put up with it and if this prize of a man is worth it. It's just,
Yeah, he's an ass. He's a complete ass. And you mean to tell me you sat up there and married this woman for better or worse through sickness and health and all that extra shit? And you mean to tell me now you got a problem with her because she gained a little weight and
right?
She
it's like
had
what
your baby?
What you would expect from having a child. Yeah, you gain a little weight.
I mean, wouldn't that turn you on more? Like, you had my baby, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you had my baby. You brought my child into this world. Like, you're a blessing.
Whole entire transactional thing there. It's just kind of like, well, you have my baby now,
Yeah.
I'm going to go, fuck other women because, I don't find you attractive anymore because, you still have your baby weight,
You
Whatever.
better be careful because what goes around comes around.
Right.
Talking about you better be lucky I ain't cheated. You better hope she don't cheat. How about that? You better hope somebody don't find her attractive. And
I'm not
wants to be with
sure.
her.
I'm not sure that if 2 wrongs make a right.
No, 2 wrongs don't make it right, but at the same time, he better make it right. He better fix it.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
If you're going to put someone down like that.
I think he has a lot of groveling to do in this case then, And he has the
Yeah.
ability to change his whole entire outlook.
He
with
needs
this
to look
here.
at himself in the mirror and realize how much he has hurt his wife.
And it's not all about looks there. I mean, and the one comment here really strikes me, as being right spot on about this here. After 20 plus years, 3 kids, and a whole lot of other shit going on in our lives, I still think my wife is stunning despite the weight gain and other body changes. It's my love for her that keeps me interested and invested in being part of this relationship, not what her body looks like.
Exactly.
Because this whole entire thing there, a relationship is just more than sex. There's a lot of like the, it's like you're attracted to somebody because of their personality, of their thoughts.
Because of who they
not
are.
Not just because of their body, yeah.
Because of who they are, what they've done for you, how much they be there for you, how much they love you.
Yeah.
Not
what they look like,
Rotten motherfucker.
Yeah, and I think I've had relationships there where it's kind of like, what, if I gain a few pounds, it's kind of like, fuck it, I'm done. And it's like, I don't not willing to put up with that kind of thing there.
Right.
Because it's just kind of like, it's awful.
Right.
Girl, especially when you're going to receive the end of it.
Don't go out and cheat. If he did, it's just not worth it. It really is not.
Well, you were suggesting a while ago that
I was joking. It was a joke. But I'm saying you better hope that doesn't happen. Because, karma's a bad motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Karma's a bad mug. When you treat someone wrong and then just expect them to stick around and deal with your bull crap.
Yeah.
You crazy as hell.
It just sounds like, yeah, it's a tough situation there. Just kind of like he either needs to kind of go ahead there and get his head screwed on straight and be like, you know what, I'm going to stay with this woman, or she needs to move on, and not deal with his, crappy ass, or give him a cookie and be like, here you go.
Right.
I'm done,
Right.
So, anyways, now I'm hungry for a cookie, but anyways, we go ahead here and wrap this up here. I want to thank you very much there for checking out the Joevelocity Show. Make sure to subscribe to us in your favorite podcast app so you don't miss an episode. New episodes drop every Monday. For access to our websites, visit us at joevelocity.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.